This conference will now be recorded.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I do have one amendment to add to the agenda, and that would be 6D, to discuss work session, another work session.
Keep you guys coming back.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. I will open the public comment portion. Individuals may address the city council about any item of concern. Speakers must state their name and limit their remarks to 3 minutes. I will close the public comment portion and we will do the consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member requests, in which case item will be removed from consent agenda and be considered in its normal sequence on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Any second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Accounts payable, Fred.
Everything's pretty, looks self-explanatory there, the higher numbers, she's got it in the audits and streets and all that, so yeah, it's all pretty self-explanatory there. Went down here today and went through it with Kim, so unless you got other questions.
Is the audit like a prepay on part of it?
They're gonna be charging, two payments, a quarter of it, and then one payment.
Okay.
Because normally it's one time, right?
We've always had it
Yeah.
one time, but I called them there.
Perfect. You want to make a motion for the total, Fred?
Motion that we pay accounts payable for $130,079.75.
Second.
Any further discussion on accounts payable? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Fred. New business, 6A, police officer posting. Chief.
So, in front of you, we got a memo requesting to advertise for the officer or position of police officer to fill our current vacancy. And it's something we would like to get on as soon as possible.
Approved.
I'll second that.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Chief. 6B, Resolution 2026-07, Police Joint Powers Agreements with the State of Minnesota. Brian.
Yep, this is well, there's an amendment, and then there's a new agreement. And every 5 years, I believe we have to renew the agreement with the BCA stuff on here. So basically, it's just approving the joint powers and the partnership that we have with the state of Minnesota, the BCA.
This is something we've done in the past, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's all budgeted and everything in there. Yeah.
Yep, nothing changes as far as that goes. It's just the new updated agreement with a couple of amendments. It's a lot of reading. A lot of words in there. Did you read it all, Bob?
If it helps to clarify, this is, we have a computer connection with the BCA. And then, of course, in the past 5 years, a lot of IT things have changed. And so a lot more security issues, a lot more responsibilities that we have to make sure that we're compliance, especially with the county being that we're under their umbrella, because we actually get that feed through them. But, you know, it's ultimately, this is what all agencies have to go through. There's none that won't be doing the agreement. So it's just, you know, lawyers.
I'll make a motion to
Approve resolution 2026-07.
Second.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Or
Aye.
sorry, roll call.
Oh,
Bob,
aye.
Kevin,
Aye.
Fred, and I passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Brian and Chief. 6C, Resolution 2026-08, resolving to display the 1983 Minnesota state flag on city property. I will let Kevin run with that.
All right. Well, I put forward this, I can just partially read here off what I submitted to Brian here. I urge the adoption of a directive requiring the city to fly the 1983 Minnesota state flag on all public buildings and properties. This action would honor our state's rich heritage, uphold its historical significance, and ensure a meaningful legacy for our posterity, while reflecting laws on the recent, while rectifying, flaws in the recent redesign process. By preserving this symbol, we maintain a tangible link to our past, educating future generations about the values and struggles that shaped our state, as well as dismissing its risks, erasing a vital part of our cultural legacy, leaving future generations with a diluted sense of where we would come from if we don't maintain it. The 2024 redesign was marred by significant shortcomings, lack of bipartisan consensus, and there was no public referendum, and transparency was inadequate. And a couple just personal notes on the flag itself. It is a seal, and I think we, in this day and age, don't really recognize what seals are. They're what unite people together. And for the history of Minnesota, when Minnesota was founded as a state, the two parties could not agree on anything. They went so far as to have their own constitutions drafted up independently. They said the same exact thing. They signed different pieces of paper. They were at each other's throats. But the one thing they agreed on unanimously was that Minnesota should be a state, that they should pursue resilience for the preservation of heritage and the blessings that God would provide through becoming a state. And the seal represents that fact, that they were united on choosing a seal that reflected the nobility of what came before us and the peace and prosperity that was expected through the joint efforts. So kind of a history and legacy that the seal represents.
Council, opinions, ideas.
I like the idea of flying the original flag. One of the comments, or you stated, is that to be flown on all city buildings or just ones that currently fly flags?
I would, in my mind, it was just that it would fly on where we have flags currently of the state
Okay,
flag.
that's what I thought. Yep.
And I'm under the impression we only have this place
Yes.
currently flying the current flag. And I think that's always been that way, right? Kim and Jeff and Brian, that was always, we haven't flown that out there or at the Public Works garage.
Nope, just this one.
Yeah.
We still have it. It's in the back room.
Fred, do you have any input or questions or concerns or?
I mean, you're talking about taking this one out then, or flying them both, or put them both?
Replacing that one with the 1983.
You know, Kevin and I had this discussion this afternoon about flying both of them and what that can and cannot mean. It's kind of a struggle. Flying the original flag and the other one kind of counteracts the effect of the original flag of what that means. Kind of one or the other. I do understand the reason for flying both,
I mean,
but
without getting too much details of my personal thinking and my political thinking, I talked to Kevin and I had a lengthy conversation. I would be okay of flying both. I understand both sides of the story, the both political views of the story, of the whole of where we're at today with the current flag, where we're at with the previous flag, with some of the issues of the previous flag. Brian told me another stat from how the original flag got about it in 1883 or whenever it was. So, I mean,
Well, I was curious as to when it was changed last. The 1983 was a change, so I did a little research on just how did that occur? How did a change happen? And the 1983 change was a legislative action. Wasn't a committee, it was a legislative action. So whether that means anything or not, I was just curious as to when a flag is changed, how does that occur typically? So, and I understand there's more than one way to do it. You know, there's obviously the commission can do it, which is the way they did it this time. But the last time it was changed was a legislative action by the bodies of the state legislature, presumably voting on it.
so with him, nobody, we have a couple of different options we can do here since we're moving. One of our council members are not here. So we can table it to the next council and get the vote that way. We can vote on it now, either way. Or we could just fly both of them. And I don't think we have to do anything if we just fly both of them. I don't think there's a motion on that. We obviously know how one council, Kevin, feels on it and what his motion would be. I just don't want to make it a political reason, and that's kind of why I would be okay just flying both of them.
I honestly wouldn't mind waiting and getting Joan's opinion either. I think if something like this, I think it might be good to have all input, just to make sure everything is heard.
Is that your motion?
Well, I don't know, if do we have to motion?
I was
that?
gonna say, I think this one, we probably would want to do a motion in a second to table it for a full.
Do we have to
council
vote on a table though, or can we just agree on a table?
Mike Flaherty. Do we need to vote on, we would need to do a motion and a vote to table, right?
Well, I would, Mayor and Council, when you table something, and this gets into the nitty gritty of like the rules of order, the short answer is it probably doesn't matter, but when you table something, what you're technically doing is you're setting it aside for an indefinite period of time. So the appropriate motion, I think, would be a motion to postpone. So it'd be a motion to postpone it until the March, whatever the next March meeting is.
19.
And I think my advice to you is to do that, just because I'm not sure how the vote's going to go, but if there's 4 members, yeah, it could be a tie vote, and then it would fail because it'd be a tie vote. So it might be better to have 5 people voting so that there's no tie. But you could vote tonight, and honestly, if it was a tie vote, you could bring it up again. So it's not the end of the world, but yeah.
I would make a motion to wait, postpone until next meeting, the 18th, 19th?
19th, yeah. Yeah, March 19th.
What?
See if anybody's got a second.
I will second that, and I usually don't like to. I just would like to have Joan here, just to have a full council, because we've been on a team, and this is a big decision, so I'll second that. Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Thanks, Kevin, for that, and I know it's, we've talked about it, and I think there's more. You kind of know where I stand, so thanks, Kevin. Work session, 6D. The date that comes up that Brian and I talked to would be Monday, the 16th of March, because with some of my personal scheduling conflicts, that's why I could not come to the last work session. So it's going to be basically heavily pool discussed, because we have to make a decision or a direction by the 19th. I think Brian and Kim will have us some numbers with some different options on that. So that's the date that I'm looking at. How does everybody look on their schedules? And I'm open on time. I know Bob works better at 5:30. Are you on vacation when you leave? Oh, you leave.
I get back the day before,
Okay.
Which date?
The 16th, Monday.
Monday.
You busy,
Make that work.
Fred?
Yeah, I just checked.
Okay. That work for you, Bob?
I can make it work.
Okay,
Yeah,
5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 would be great.
Okay, so let's plan on 5:30 the 16th. Is it only pool discussion, Brian?
No, we will visit the personnel policy as well. The discussion we had on a couple of revisions there, we wanted the whole council
Okay.
as part of that, so.
The reason I asked that is I was gonna try to cut it to an hour instead of an hour and a
Well,
half. But
I think we might have been out in an hour,
It was just over an hour.
the last one too,
Yeah.
so it could be.
So we'll plan on 5:30 to 7, but we'll work on the 7 for a work session on the 16th at 5:30. Just need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 4-0-0. Reports, Brian.
Just one, we had our Pleasant Loop neighborhood meeting on the 25th, and it went very well. There was a lot of citizens there, not all of them. I've spoken to a few since then, so yeah, we're looking at asking the council to allow us to go out for bids. I believe Jeff, was it the second meeting or the first meeting in April?
The plans will be the 19th, I believe. right?
Okay.
And then, then the bids come in on the 15th and award the 16th.
Yeah, I can never keep those dates straight, but the one thing I wanted to say was if anybody listens to this and they didn't make it to the meeting, come in and talk to us. We want to gather all the names and phone numbers and emails that we can, because we put out push notifications on water shutoffs, if your driveway is going to be impacted, all of that type of stuff. So there's a lot of good questions, and it's going to be a big project. And you'll either be dusty or muddy or both. That's what we told everybody. So we're looking forward to getting that one done. That's all I had.
Perfect, thank you. Chief? Or Mike, do you have anything?
Not, if you're referring to this mic, no, nothing today.
Okay, all right, okay. Chief?
Just information for yesterday, I met with Stephanie Miner, our newest hire. Got her outfitted, and so she's going to be ready to go on Monday. So she starts Monday morning, and we're looking forward to having her as part of our team, and she's excited to be here. That's all I got.
Thanks, Chief.
You bet.
Tony?
As part of the ICAC task force agreement that the council had previously approved through resolution, we hosted an internet safety presentation at the high school last week, and that was well attended. About 15 community members came in, got good feedback from that. We're working with the school district to also have a presentation specific for the middle school age group and the high school age group, which will be middle of April for that.
Jeff?
Nothing tonight.
James?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Kim?
Nothing today.
Miles? I just have one thing. Tony took my smoke. I was at that internet safety, and I tried to get my kids, but you know, they had better things to do like homework. But Tony did a good job. It was very informative. If you're a parent or a kid that's aware of all this stuff, you knew a lot of it, but I still learned a couple. But if you're not a parent that's not aware, there's some nasty things that can happen to a parent or a kid. So I just want to take the time to thank Tony, and he had a good presentation. It was a good turnout. So thanks, Tony. Bob?
Nothing tonight.
Kevin?
Nothing tonight.
Fred? Media adjourned.